Good morning, guys. What is good? I am thrilled and elated to have Dave Brooks on the show. Dave is kind of like a blast in the past, obviously, from Billboard, amazing articles throughout the years. Dave, what is going on, my man? What have you been up to?
Well, I left Billboard late last year. I was let go with a bunch of other people, and now I'm doing my own thing. I'm writing for Puck News, which is pretty a new media company. I'm doing a little work for the LA Times, and I'm launching my own media brand shortly called Decibel. And I've got part of that as a legal podcast called Decibel and Docket. It kind of looks at the legal news in the music industry. So keeping busy.
Good. Great to hear. That's awesome. And definitely wish you the best of luck with those media ventures. So let's get into like Live Nation DOJ. Yeah. And here's what I've been hearing, Dave, with my sources, and been talking to Dan Wall, head of legal for Live Nation, been talking to some independent promoters regarding it. And from what all the sources been telling me is that basically Live Nation has won this lawsuit. Live Nation, Ticketmaster are not splitting up. The trial is just going to determine basically pennies within amphitheater concessions, potentially stuff to do with AEG and ticketing, AEG and Ticketmaster at reciprocal venues to allow them to use their ticketing platforms. But that's about it. Is that what you've been hearing also?
Yeah, I've been hearing the same thing, right? So the other day, the judge tossed a number of claims by the government, right? In this sweeping antitrust suit, they tossed about 4 of the 6, right? And they mostly had to do with claims that Live Nation monopolized concert promotions. It also kind of monopolized the fan ticketing in a way that drove ticketing up. So the judge threw those charges out. And the only 2 he kept were kind of the ones with the obvious ones, which we all kind of always talked about, right? The first one being that, that he said it could go to trial that Live Nation monopolizes the amphitheater market, which makes a lot of sense because they own like 8% of the amphitheaters in North America. And then the other thing was that they monopolized the venue ticketing contract. So how venues get ticketing. And that's kind of obvious too, right? I mean, we all think about how many venues Live Nation, Ticketmaster services in terms of sports, concerts, amphitheaters. I mean, they have no real competition, and the judge kind of highlighted that. So from that, we're starting to hear from Dan Wall mostly that basically this takes breaking up the company off the table because there needs to be 2 tied. The monopolies have to be more tied together, right? And there has to be at least 2 monopoly claims tied together, and now they're not. Those 2 aren't really tied together. They got one about amphitheaters and one about ticketing. So, according to him, this breaking of the company is now off the table. We'll see some kind of more like structural type relief instead, where maybe there's a shorter contracts and stuff. But
right.
I mean, I don't know though. I mean, I'd like to get a second opinion on that as well. Yeah, I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I agree with your intel too. Like, I've been talking to a lot of independent promoters the last couple of days, and they said like nothing's going to change. Like one guy told me that amphitheater, for example, it's not like an independent promoter is going to outbid Live Nation for a show at the amphitheater. It's going to be very tough for them to do that unless they have a very, very deep Louis Vuitton wallet to throw out some serious funds to beat Live Nation in the bid. So I really think that things stay the status quo from, according to him, obviously Dan Wall's putting out a bunch of stuff also. It seems when I exchanged emails with him this morning that he's willing to concede a few things, but how many is the main question.
What was he conceding?
I think what my dialogue with him is that essentially, and this is not coming directly from him, but I'm just interpreting that. I think, in my opinion, he would concede that an AXS, a TM venue that hired an AXS promoter would be allowed to use AXS at an TM venue. So I think that is on the table. Like that's the most thing I see on the table from this all. But everything else is like Ticketmaster, Live Nation, our venue's really going to change their minds to go with a different company, to go with a different promoter. I just don't see it here in the short term.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, I think you're right about that. I think that AEG will be able to probably use AXS
right
for most of their shows, and that will probably that will probably satisfy AEG somewhat.
Right.
I mean, and then the other thing with the amphitheaters, maybe basically Live Nation has to open. Maybe they do open them up to promoters where you maybe have like an amphitheater like Jones Beach, where a couple times a year an outside promoter will rent the building and put a show there. But that just puts more. I don't think that's that big of a deal for Live Nation. I think
exactly. I think they like they still get the rental fee. They have no risk in that scenario. So I mean, I don't think
they sell it on Ticketmaster probably, right? So it's like, I mean, that seems like it's hard to see what comes of this, but that's what Dan Wall's saying, and he's kind of got to say that too, right? That's his job.
It's his job to say that. No, he obviously will say that is his job, and obviously a massive witness list that that producer that you posted first, which is great, and producer MCF will kind of share it here right now. Like, it is just such a massive list. These guys are going to be in the courtroom for days with all these. There's got to be like 50, 60 witnesses here that Mike is scrolling down.
One of the things that came up I saw was that both sides have there's 50 hours total for arguments or for evidence. So that means both sides have about 25 hours to make their case as of now, and the court's about 5-hour day, so that's like a week each. So obviously, there's no way they could get through all these witnesses, and some of these witnesses will just have their depositions used, But yeah, I mean, it is a sprawling list of people.
I mean, Michael, producer Mike is still scrolling down. This will be weeks of court. I mean, this is just unbelievable, the amount of folks that are testifying as witnesses in the DOJ Live Nation case. But
I don't expect all. I mean, I don't expect a fraction of them, and that's what they're saying to testify. But
got it.
These are all people who could be called to the stand. So
sure is a lot of people. And I want to bring up something else too. I think you caught for the ticketing resale community. This is a big deal that you disclosed who Don Shano was years ago, right? That was you.
Yeah.
So what I tasked you to do for the ticket reselling X community is to figure out who Ticket Helps One is. He's kind of like the Don Shano of Twitter now. Puts out a lot of good content. Nobody can figure out who he is. So I task you to find out who Ticket Help One is on X. That would be the most amazing thing for the ticketing reselling community on X, if you can figure that out.
Someone else brought him up to me. I have not checked this person out, the thing with Shano was like, that took a lot out of me, right? Like, that kind of was like, I don't know if I want to go through that again, but I'm sure I'll definitely check this guy out.
Definitely check him out, Dave. Producer MCF just posted his handle here on X. Nobody knows who he is. He puts out good content. I mean, I give him that. He has a lot of great content he puts out. He's not as he's more professional than Don Shano was. But if you can figure out who he was, you would be the hero of the ticketing resale.
Because people don't like him though, or is he anti-resale, or is he?
So he kind of he's interesting. He kind of plays both sides of it, but he's anti-Ticketmaster for sure.
Okay.
He plays all angles of the of all sides of it. So he kind of like plays both sides of ticketing resale versus primary.
Well, the thing that made it easy to catch Shano or figure out who he was ultimately was that he registered Don Shano LLC, right?
Oh.
And then and he also had registered Wise Guys Tickets LLC. So once you kind of connected those two, that kind of made the whole thing partial. Maybe this guy we should search. First thing was to search for like Ticket Help LLCs, in like different states and stuff. There's also there's also some, you know, those like data broker sites, right? I'm trying to remember the name of anyone, but some of those have decent tools to like find people as well. That helped as well. That kind of narrowed down that he was in Texas with Shano. So, but I have nothing against Shano. I mean, he's not a bad guy. I like,
well, he's disappeared off the face.
He's disappeared off. Yeah, he has. Which I think is too bad because I like him. I mean, I just feel like I kind of had to do it because I wanted, you know, because he had doxed me, so there was a bit of it. It was a bit of revenge, but also, I always wanted to solve. It's a mystery that I wanted to solve, but, you know, maybe would I have done it if I known he would disappear? Maybe I wouldn't have because I think the world's better because of Shannon. But I'm gonna definitely check out this guy. I know this is like a Jason mask. It's pretty. That's pretty.
He's kind of scary. Pretty disguised there, but I mean,
yeah.
I want you to look into him. Report back. We'll
give
you some time. Don't make it. I know you're busy starting up your media company, but report back. Let's investigate who Tickets Help One is. Dave Brooks will be the hero of the reselling community. If he's
got a lot of followers too, huh? I mean,
he's got a massive following, very popular. Yeah, to be honest, he's got a lot of good takes too. But I really would like to know who he is.
Why? What? Just because you're just curious?
Just curious. Everyone else is too. He's just been very active the last 3-4 years on X. Has built a good following. Just curious for sure.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's someone else that mentions me. You know, the thing about. I mean, I'll tell you, like, the thing about Shano that was very interesting was, like, he was not a major player really in resale. Because, you know, like, he filed for a PPP loan, whatever you call it, like, right during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And he, you know, he basically showed, like, that his income was, like, $8,000 or something.
Wow.
Like, from ticketing per year. So it was just like, okay, this guy is not, like,
he's not doing some
not making big numbers.
He's hiding know what he's done.
Right. That's a good point, you know. But you know, yeah, that's a really good point. Maybe, you know, he's not reclaiming everything, which wouldn't be that unusual. So but yeah, I'll definitely check this guy out.
Definitely check him out. Well, Dave, thank you so much for coming on. We're gonna have
it's fun.
It's in the future for sure. I love the work that you do. Love that you're getting your media company off the ground. So let's definitely stay in touch. Keep up the great work, and we'll talk soon.
All right, Scott. Thank you.
Have a good one, guys. Take care. Give us a follow on X. Give us a thumbs up. Stay lean and clean.